Warning. The content on this channel is not intended or suitable for minors below 13 years of age. If that is you, please click off and come back when you're older. By continuing beyond this point, you affirm that you are 13 years of age or older.
What's up? What is going on, Swearers? We are back with another episode of Descenders. This time we are doing the Career Plus path, and we are going to be kicking it off again. The differences in Career Plus are a bit more minimal than they are on the Career side. Career side, there's a lot of differences. Not so much on Career Plus, but there are some things that are different, and I'll be taking you through those things, of course, as we do the comparison, and we might as well just get right on into it. So we're going to be doing, in this one, Desert and Jungle, and the Jungle in particular has some extreme video lag. And I've communicated with Rage Squid about this. They did improve it somewhat. It used to stutter and almost like it was trying to buffer, and it was almost unplayable. Jungle was almost unplayable. It's better now, but as you'll see in the video, it is still not great. So when you see the lag and the frame rate issues on the PS4 side for Jungle, that is one of the bugs of the game. There's honestly, the PS4, there is some bugs to this. They have not got this thing lined out 100% yet. Hopefully they will at some point in the future, but they do update a lot. They're pretty responsive. Rage Squid is, so definitely that is very cool. But I mean, they've made a really, really good game, and hopefully they'll start to improve some of those things. My suspicion is that Jungle just has way too many textures, way too many assets, and I've got a PS4 Pro, and if that fucking thing cannot keep up to this game, then there's a huge problem somewhere in there, right? So, anyway, hopefully they'll get that tuned. If they do, maybe we'll go back and we might dedicate an entire video or several videos for each level, possibly at some point in the future. I don't know. I don't know that I'm really the tips and tricks dude for all this. Like I said, I think I'm okay at it. I don't think I'm anywhere near the top players. But again, this is a really, really fun game to just pick up and get into it. So why don't we do just that? Let's get into it right now. Kicking us off with Desert on the Career Plus path. Alright, and so on the left side, I actually filmed this on a separate day from the other stuff, so we have to kick the Xbox all the way back on again. And of course you can see on the PS4 side that it is, I actually had to do that as well with that one, but it is lightning fast in comparison. So we are going to be waiting probably for the Xbox, so I'm going to speed that part up as soon as the PS4 is ready to go here, which is now. Okay, now. So, on the Desert, you can see there's another. You see riders a lot in this one and Highlands. So, on the PS4, I'm showing you some of the different. The color is obviously a lot different. But you can see there's columns in the middle of nowhere. A lot more trees. There are trees in Xbox, but not as many as this. Way more trees in the PS4. And it's always embarrassing to me when I get wiped out by a tree because they're so sparse. So, and it happens, and if I get wiped out by a tree in the Desert, it's just embarrassing. So, I was trying to do Superman on the PS4 side. That's why I wiped out. I was trying to do the Superman thing again. I don't know what I was trying to do there. And so I'm just throwing lives into the wind here on the PS4 side. But it doesn't matter because as long as you are not throwing away too many, you can recover them to a degree. So I have come away on desert. You can do 100% of the tracks on desert, and you'll see why coming up. But I have left desert with 60,000 reputation before, sometimes a little bit more, just doing exactly what I'm doing now. And 20 to I've approached 30 lives before as well. So, all right, there's this pyramid thing over here again. It's sort of a fake out where it's like a boss track without actually being a boss level of any kind. And you can't ride up this. If you try to ride into that, you will crash. And you can see there's a lot of those things. There are 0. You can see there is not a fucking thing on the Xbox side, which is really, really good for just getting out and thrashing, just flying. Like you're just blazing on that one. On the PS4 side, you could do that as well, but again, this level is somewhat harder on PS4. It's a lot easier to wipe out, a lot less forgiving. You can crash through the barrier. I've done that a few times. I've actually went through the barrier in the air, which is actually a little tricky to do because of that bar that goes across the top. If it was just straight columns, it'd be easy to do, but it isn't. And on the normally what I do on the Xbox was, because I had so much reputation, I didn't bother with anything unless it was fairly steep, so I could get more reputation per run. On the PS4 side, because I don't have tons and tons of reputation, at least not as much as the other one, I am going to do 100% of all the tracks just to show you guys it can be done on desert. So they will not all appear in the video because we don't want to spend the rest of our lives watching this fucking video. At least I don't. So we'll do some creative stuff to kind of speed things along. But okay, so a little bit over 4,000 reputation on the PS4 side, and let's take a look here and see where we are at on the Xbox side. So Xbox is running about 1,000 ahead right now at this point. And I don't know that it really means anything because you can definitely get some really serious reputation going on the PS4 as well. Like when I say that it's 5,000 per track, generally it will be on a track that is on this world. So one of the things that I do is I try to make sure that I have the track in sight at all times. The only one you can't really do this with is on the boss level. You've got to keep track of it better than that, because if you fuck that up, you won't probably make the jump. So fire node is the thing that will give you the flaming ring over the exit, and so you've got to hit fire nodes on all the tracks if you want to get to the really, really, like the volcano or the other level. So fire node is 100% of everything. There are 0 stunts on desert, which is why it is such a great arena for just grinding. Like, you can grind a lot of reputation here. So this is a good area to come in and to do 100% of the tracks if you're trying to find one special bike and it's a rare one or an uncommon one. This is a really good place to do it. You can see there on the PS side, I just ate a gigantic chunk of dirt. Here's the other thing too, why you can earn lives so easily is so many of these are gimmies. Because if it says don't use your brakes, I never use my brakes on these tracks, like ever. I am trying to think, in fact, if I've ever used my brakes at any time ever on these, and I don't think I have. When it says accelerate all the way through, that's what I do every time. So sometimes it'll give you difficult ones, like you have to finish within a certain amount of time. You have to be a little careful with those. But those aren't as gimme as the other two, but a lot of these are just straight up gimmies. You have to be careful doing what I did there. If you run into the pillars of the exit, sometimes it will strip you of all your reputation as well. So you can finish if you do the bonus quest thing, then you can get an extra life or replace one you just lost. But you'll wind up with 0 reputation, and that has happened to me a number of times too. Like I said, sometimes this game will get cheap for no reason. I don't understand why that is the case. I don't know if it's a bug or something I'm missing, but it has happened a number of times. And I've been able to get past it without the same thing happening by doing the exact same maneuvering. So to me, it seems like it might be some sort of a bug or possibly just something in the algorithm I'm not understanding. There are some bonus things that they want you to hit a certain speed. Those are good too, because you can generally get a good amount of speed. 85 kilometers per hour is, so that's not quite, it's 50 some odd miles an hour, low 50s. But that is not, that's not an easy thing to do on this. And obviously bailing at that speed, you would be just all kinds of dead. All kinds. If you were attempting that on an actual bike. So one thing I think is kind of cool is that the left half of the PS4 rider is black, and the right half of the Xbox rider with contrast uniform is black. So you kind of have this really cool thing where they fit together and make really, really nifty halves. So with this one, I don't pay any attention to the sun setting and stuff like that for reasons that'll be obvious here. On the Xbox side in particular, it is very, very light, even in pitch blackness, even after you lose your battery. That's the other thing too. I should probably talk about that. So you have one or two, it's usually 2, sometimes 3 tracks before you lose all your light if you attempt to ride at night. And attempting to ride at night without any light at all, even the minimal light that the headlight beam gives you, not something I would recommend. Alright, so we got 10 lives over on the Xbox side. I've got 1 over on the PS4 side. But there's been bugs with the Xbox too. I remember one time I was playing, and I think they were doing an update at the time, and that might have been why. But I played through the daily challenge, and then I started it again to try to earn some more rep to see if I could manage to get my way into, I believe I was trying to get the high voltage bike, which I actually still don't have. And I went to desert to go, actually I think I went to Highland first to go grind out some stuff, and I had a lot of reputation. I probably had a dozen lives, and somewhere in forest I wiped out, and it took every one of them. It just went do. Took every life I had, and I thought, that is really weird. I don't know what's going on. So I tried it in desert. And then I had about 2 dozen lives because I hadn't bailed or anything. And that one, and it was kind of a cheap bail too. It took all 24 of my fucking lives, if you can believe that. So that was there's been some buggy stuff on the Xbox. Xbox has been more reliable, but there has been some buggy stuff also. So you can see I'm just grinding away over on the PS4 side. One thing with using the rider's eye like this, I don't like this flashlight here. It actually is more of a hindrance to me than it's helpful. But you have to be somewhat, see, there's why. You have to be somewhat careful with the rider's eyes because it really ruins a lot of your vision. And I don't know where they're saying this camera is mounted. Clearly it's not mounted on the handlebars, but your field of vision is just really kind of funky here. But you can see it is very, not so much on the PS4 side, but it is very bright on the Xbox side. Like you can see extremely well here, even though it's supposed to be complete darkness. Also, if you get a near miss, sometimes it'll give you the columns as well. So again, on the Xbox side, I'm playing like I normally do. On the PS4 side, I am going through every single track. Oh, while I'm thinking of it, on the PS4 side, even if you don't have the Wayfinder, you can ignore the track for everything except for the boss level. Because the ending will be directly below the moon. It doesn't matter where you are in there, as long as you have the moon lined up directly, like in a straight line. And you can see there it is. It is, we have the exit there, and so as long as you use the moon for your guide, I'm doing the same thing in fact on Xbox right now. So as long as you do that, you will be able to find the exit with ease. So that one is, it's good. We can see the reputation here. That one will finish with 27,000 maybe. Not quite 27,000. Over on the, let's take a look here though and see where we are falling with the, and that's only about half the tracks actually on Xbox. So over here we have about 13,000. So definitely, that's running more than double right now on the Xbox side. And I don't recall where we'll find out because I finished all these, but I don't remember where I actually left the PS4 side. I don't remember how much rep I had. This one was stupid. That was a dumb death. One of the things about the desert though is you have to be a little careful because you can't turn super crisply. All the sand will just basically cause you to lose traction, so you have to be a little judicious with how you're steering stuff. Oh, look at me. I'm stunting on the Xbox side. This is, by the way, the Xbox side is dead of night. Look at how much brighter it is. So, I mean, obviously the PS4 is quite a bit more accurate as far as that goes. I don't think it would be almost daytime in the middle of the night. And they're wrecked again. Some of these levels can just be a huge pain in the ass. This is now the third time I'm trying to run this one. Okay, so apparently the Xbox has gone to the final level. So this one we're going to finish this race. And then I think we're just gonna, I'll show you that I did every single track on there. And then we'll go over to the boss jump and check it out. We should have the fire ring for both of them. If I can just manage to not fuck this up again. Oh yeah, that was good. Okay, so you gotta be able to kill speed with skids on this. Oh hey, look who didn't pay attention to the reputation. Dang it. Okay, so here we are. You can see they're all green. They're all done. And at some point here, okay. All right, so the Xbox is 30,000. It's well caught up on the PS4 side. It's 44 and change. So again, you can see I'm trying to stay as close to the track as I possibly can with both of these. You really don't want to get off track with these. So count the flags. By the time you get to, I want to say the third flag, you need to be 100% on the track. So speed is a little high on the PS4. You don't really want to be hitting 90. Somewhere between 80 and about 85 or so is a really good number to try to hit there. You can see there we hit about 80, went over like a breeze. Alright, we're heading with both to the jungle. That was kind of cool. We got a little synchronicity there. And again, these are recorded between a week and a half to 2 weeks apart. So it's kind of cool when you can do that. But again, it also kind of shows you that the boss jumps are like almost identical in all these. Okay, so here's the jungle level. There will be a frame rate problem with the PS4. I'll just tell you now, and it is a big bugaboo. And it like I said, it's improved a bit, but it is still not great. Again, we have a fucking freeway on the Xbox side, and you can see that it is much wider over there. And wider path is on, by the way, for both of these. So there's the tree topper thing, which we also saw in canyons. Again, you want to be going over 45. 45 is, I would say, the bare minimum to hit that. Here we have a fucking hole in the ground on the Xbox side. I don't understand that hole in the ground shit. I really don't. It's just obnoxious. Jungle is a level that I initially didn't like, but I actually do kind of like a lot of it. It is pretty fun for me. I don't mind Jungle at all. I like it better than Forest. Forest you can't really ride off track at all on the PS4. You can't do a degree in Jungle with the PS4. So the first two of the Career Plus I actually kind of like. The last two I don't particularly. And we'll see those in the next video. We'll see Favela and Glossier's in the next video. Alright, so we've got a jump here. It's just a really pretty level. I like this level a lot. But I think there's too much detail on the PS4 side. I think that is what is fucking up the frame rate. And there's another imaginary bale on the PS4 side. I went into that sign a number of times on the Xbox because I wanted to show you guys the wall riding thing, and I fucked that one up right there. You can ride the wall on this one to avoid those holes, and I think I just kind of gave up wasting lives on this one. Yeah, I'm riding into the hole. Right in, right out. Which you can do on Canyon also, I just don't like to do that. Again, 30 in the 30s is nowhere near enough. You will not make it up to the treetop thing. One of the things about Jungle though is you need to be prepared to use your brakes. Because if you don't use your brakes, even if you're trying to get the bonus thing, I'm even a little leery of doing stunts on this one. But if you're not using your brakes, you're probably going to lose control. Losing control, as you can see that drop off right there on the Xbox, losing control can be very deadly. There, I threw in a backflip, opportunistic backflip on the PS4 side. Oh, over on the Xbox side, I actually crashed him through the ending, which you can do, of course. Like I said, the same thing that worked on the other ones to crash them into the barricades will work here as well. And this one, I can't remember. No, 30s, I definitely wouldn't try it out. You need to kind of keep your eye on the speed a little bit with almost all of these levels. This one is really fussy too, because too much speed will be as much of a problem as not enough. Okay. The Xbox, it's just really fun to watch the gameplay on this level. I like this. It's I mean, it's fun to play it obviously, but I kind of wish I would have jumped on this a little bit sooner, because this is pretty cool. I like watching this. I just wish the jungle came out a little bit better on the PS4 side. But you can see there's crazy amounts of stuff. That is kind of the main difference here, actually, between the, well, and the detail too. But other than that, the detail on this, the coloration, but that's normal with all the other ones also. There's just more shit on this one. I don't know that it, well, it is harder because it gives you narrower lanes, but this one is, I think these two are fairly similar. There's just more things for the PS4. This one also, interestingly, so the boss level on this one, even though it is jumping over basically a canyon, you can ride around this one. You can survive that. You can't on canyon. You can on this one. You have to hit the wall at a very specific speed and approach as far as the angle of it. But if you're able to do that, you can actually ride down the hill and then ride back up it and go through the flares that signal the end of it. You can go through that backwards. It's not easy to do, though. I'll be straight up honest with you guys. I've done it probably about a dozen times, which I would prefer not to. And it's not that bad of a jump. You just have to be, again, just super precise when you hit that ramp. You want to get as close to the dead center of that as you can. And also, you don't want to have a whole ton of speed on that. So you really want to not, again, 80 to 85, somewhere in that vicinity. And if you can do that, you'll be able to smooth land it and just drive it on home. By the way, don't be a little bit careful trying to skid through. I tried to do this really cool finish skid, and I rode through one of the flares, like actually into the flame, but it didn't count it. So I went flying right off the side of that fucking thing into basically into my death. That was kind of annoying. Alright, and more of those wooden things on the Xbox side. Okay, so we're already to the boss track on the PS4 side, so we're gonna finish this up here on the Xbox, and then maybe once this is done, oh yeah, mini boss jump, that's a good one, just like the rock one in the Highlands. Basically approach it the same way. You want to be about 45 miles an hour or so or higher, and the closer you are to 45, the more you're going to probably have to super jump it. So, okay, so I just skipped through the map loading thing there because there's this level, and then after this one is really where we get to the boss track. So one more for the Xbox Solo. I really wish you could combine these things though, you know, because look, there is nothing around this fucking track, nothing at all, nothing even close. I could have ignored the track completely and been fine on this one. So taking some of that aspect and combining it with the detail of the PS4, if you could somehow merge some of those things together, that would just be straight up awesome. So hopefully somebody at Rage Quit is listening. Alright. This one is kind of annoying. And you run into this on some of the other ones as well. So, am I going back? Yes, I am. This is dumb, by the way. Like, it's really important for me, apparently, to get that 400 reputation, so I'm going to go all the way back, turn around, and not make it. What's that? Do it again? Okay. Alright. Oh, I know why. Because this was my bonus objective. And this guy is on his last stand right now. So I was trying to get to the finish. So I could have both of them go through the finish at the same time like I did in the pyramid. Yeah, he's just dropping too much speed. And that is fucking cheap. Like I don't know how that would cause you to bail, rolling backwards into a ramp. Fucking stupid. But I got a shirt, yay. Alright, so 49,720, and as soon as we complete this boss jump, this will put us over. In fact, we'll probably be over 50,000 before we even get there. Maybe. No, not quite. Yeah, we should be pretty close to 50,000 now. Yeah, there we go. Alright, so we had 50,000. Now we're going to hit the boss jump here. Again, you want to get this lined up. Center of the ramp. If you have to, maybe lean it just a touch to the left. And you can see there I came down. So this one, if you can hit the angle right, you can actually ride to the bottom. So I was too far off to the right to be able to do that, but it is possible. So this one, mostly to the left, a little bit center, and like I said, I tried to skid through this and just went ass over TKL right over the end of it. So there it is. That was the Career Plus Part 1, which is the desert and the jungle, and definitely the jungle is just, I'm one of my biggest goals when I initially got the PS4 was to unlock all the levels so I could bypass jungle and just work on favela. And it really sucks that level is so unplayable with the frame rate, and it's not enjoyable with that because you have to be so precise in your movements. Like, you have to have everything like lined up well in advance. You can't really react to stuff, and for a game that really relies on a lot of precision playing, that fucks you up. That will create major problems in a hurry. So hopefully, like I said, as of right now, as of the time this video is posted, that issue has not been corrected, but you know, they do updates a lot, so I'm hopeful that maybe by the next update, whenever that is, they'll start to get it. End of 2021, hopefully at the latest. So, but we'll be back for the 5th and final Descenders video in the very next one, which will see us go through the aforementioned favela and into the glaciers level, which I rode the struggle bus pretty hard with, so the boss jump is not actually appearing in. I don't think it actually appears in that video. I might be wrong. It might be on the Xbox side. I don't actually remember. Most of this is just trying to be a comparison side by side to just look at some of the differences. For the most part, the boss jumps are all identical. There's not a huge difference between either the Xbox or the PS4. Not so much in the parks, not so much in any of the boss jumps. So, and if I do, I can't. I don't have the Xbox anymore to compare, so I can't show you Volcano, or I can't remember the name of the one that comes after Glaciers. I can't show you those side by side. But if that's something we're interested in, leave me a comment. Let me know. Maybe I'll try to get to it in future videos. So, but anyway. So, last one coming up next, and we'll see you for that one. And, of course, until then, swears, as always, peace out.